West Ham United 0, Everton 2 in the Premier League clash at the London Stadium today. 2-0, an insipid 2-0, not very good at all, I'm afraid. I'm also afraid I think you're stuck with me. We're having some technical issues. I might be joined by somebody, hopefully quite soon. If not, you're stuck with me. But it's all right. I've got enough moaning in me to sort of supplement more than two opinions. Let me just say, poor show from West Ham today. I think Pellegrini's going to have to take a load of the responsibility for this one, because I thought we got it tactically wrong today. And not only that, his selection of the personnel was pretty shocking. I'm sure there's going to be some circumstances and reasoning why, but I think Xavier Hernandez will feel himself very, very unfortunate not to have featured in the starting lineup. Certainly, I've got the starting lineup here, and Fabianski in goal, Zabaleta at right back, Diop centre back with Ogbonna beside him. Now, I think a lot of us were hoping for Balbuena to be back for that one, but he stuck with Ogbonna. Cresswell on the left. Now, the midfield I thought was very, very surprising because he's gone 4-4-2, really. Snodgrass on the right, Rice and Obiang in the middle, Lanzini on the left. Anderson, I don't know what happened. You probably will by the time you watch this. Something's happened, which has meant Anderson has not featured for whatever reason today. And Arnautovic and Perez up front. Now, as I say, I just think Chicharito must have been thinking, well, what have I got to do? Maybe it was because he played for Mexico against Paraguay. Maybe it was a travel. I would be surprised to see Perez feature at all. But anyway, there we go. I'm digressing. This is a review. We need to look at what happened in the match. And we didn't have to wait long, because after only 4 minutes, Kurt Zuma rose above Diop and bullied him, really, to head into the goal. I think it's possibly the ball came over from Sigurdsson. But, I mean, it was a normal sort of disorganised mess in the middle. However, I thought Zabaleta was close enough to sort of impact it, but make no mistake about it, this was Diop's. Diop is a big guy. Diop is 6'4" or something like that. There's no way he should allow himself to get dominated like that. I mean, he almost hitched a ride on the back of him. I don't think it was a foul. I think it was fair game. Diop did not contest it at all. After 4 minutes, we're 1 goal down. Almost immediately afterwards, Fabianski makes a save. I'm going to go through it I'm going to assume not everybody has seen the game. Fabianski makes a save. Then Fabianski makes a double save. Then Calvert-Lewin breaks through. I mean, Calvert-Lewin caused us all kinds of problems today with his pace. We are very, very lucky, though, that on a number of occasions he didn't look up when he was through. Because, I mean, that could have been 5-0 today. We were very poor at this point. And Everton just kept on coming. We had one break on the counter-attack after 13 minutes, and now Arnautovic basically fell over. And that was about as good as it got for Arnie today. I probably should say it earlier rather than later. Fabianski and Declan Rice were the two players that can really take a bit of credit out of the game today. Aside from that, it was a pretty poor showing. Everton were just all over us. They were faster than us. They were sharper than us. And this comes down to the tactics. Let me get to the first half first. Let me just go for it. 32 minutes. Where was it? I think it was Seamus Coleman got a run on Aaron Cresswell, beat Aaron Cresswell, and basically squared the ball over for Bernard to tap the ball in. 2-0. In between all of that, Everton have had a lot of attacks. They keep on coming down Cresswell's side. Fabianski's made a lot of saves, more than he really should have done. I think 39 minutes, he made another save again. 40 minutes, Snodgrass had a shot from outside the area, sort of dragged wide. That was pretty much it. It was a completely dominant performance from Everton. And I wrote down some notes while I was watching the game. And the first thing that really got me was, and this is why I think that Pellegrini's got to take. So he's culpable. He's got to take culpability for this, because when you put out a team, you want to tick certain boxes. We had a midfield that couldn't pass, and a lot gets said about the Pellegrini ethos and the Pellegrini way, but that was not a team pick that could pass. Now, if you're not going to pass, then maybe you're going to hoof it long, or you're going to do something different. Then put some pace in the team. We were pain dreadfully slow. We had no pace in the team at all. Slow wingers, slow forwards, a midfield that couldn't pass, and defenders that couldn't defend. But apart from that, it was pretty damn good. It was really, really bad. And I just thought, bearing in mind he'd gone in with 4-4-2, where was the blend? As I say, Rice played fine. Where was the guy next to Rice to play the passes, to open them up? Where was the pace on the wingers so they could get in behind and get some crosses over? It was non-existent. And when you looked at that starting 11, how many of those players are going to feature for us next season? How many are going to be, not only just in the starting 11, how many are going to be heavily involved in the squad at all? Well, Fabianski quite clearly will be. I think Diop will be because he's a player of promise. Cresswell, maybe. Declan Rice, certainly. And Lanzini. I think 4 players are going to feature for us next season. So why were we starting a bunch of players who really have no future at West Ham? I really don't know. And this is why you need to still be involved in the Cups. Anyway, I'm ranting a bit, but I did think it was tactically poor. It was tactically poor. In the first half, Lanzini was very much off the pace because he was stuck out wide. We had overall a lack of energy. If there was a 50-50 ball to be contested, they were faster, they were sharper, they were just getting the ball. We weren't. We looked half asleep. What have we been doing? We've had the international break, and, you know, you could say that maybe some players might have looked tired if they'd have featured. You might have said that about Hernandez. But Declan Rice played, didn't he play for England, made his debut, played the full game in his second cap, and he looked, I don't know, he looked highly motivated. But the experience of playing international football, in many respects, that was one of Declan Rice's best performances today, which shows you just how badly everyone else has played. The second half didn't get a lot better. He made some changes in the second half. Chicharito and Antonio on, Obiang and Perez off. I mean, you wouldn't have known Obiang and Perez were on the pitch. Really wouldn't. It's all a bit negative, isn't it? But I can't really spin this in any other way. It was pretty poor. We had a bit more possession because Lanzini was moved. He changed formation. He went 4-3-3 really. And Lanzini was moved into the middle more, maybe given a free roll. So our passing improved. We had a bit better possession, but we still didn't carry a threat. I'm not sure, did we? Not sure we even had a shot. I don't seem to remember us registering a shot on target. It was painful stuff, really, really painful to watch. So we had a little period where, in the second half, where Everton weren't completely killing us, which just sounds pathetic, really, doesn't it? It was comfortable. It was comfortable for Everton all the time. Diangana came on later on for Arnie. Arnie did that. He was having a conversation with Pellegrini. He asked to be taken off. His leg was heavily strapped with ice. That was that. So clearly he was carrying another knock. After we had our little period of possession, let's say, then Everton got back into the game again. 2 really good chances from Calvert-Lewin. Richarlison, he had a very good chance. Completely dominant from Everton. That was a real easy day at the office. It's pleasing that we have the 42 points already, but what have we got up next? We've got Chelsea, Man U, Leicester, possibly. I don't really know. What can you say? Actually, sucks the life out of you watching a performance like that, where each and every part of that team was pretty much dysfunctional. Fabianski, brilliant. Again, what would it have been without him? And obviously Declan Rice as well. But what some of those players were doing, I really don't know. I don't know the situation with Noble. I think something may have happened. I should have maybe done my research before going live here, but I just wanted to get live and give the reaction as quickly as possible. The commentator did say something about you've got to feel sorry for Mark Noble or something like that. So I don't know what had happened, but I guess he was available because he was on the bench. There was a point where the camera panned to the bench and he was sat down next to Arnautovic and he did not look very happy at all. Neither of them did. he offered so little threat. And Arnautovic, just go through the players for you one by one. I mean, Zabaleta, not a good game off the pace. Diop, culpable for the first goal. What can you say? It was his fault. Ogbonna maybe a little bit better than Diop, but they were on us all the time. Cresswell grew into the game a little bit, but again, was heavily at fault for the first goal as well. And they did keep on attacking down Cresswell's side. So clearly they had highlighted a little bit of a weakness there. Calvert-Lewin kept on pulling wide. Even Richarlison was going onto that side as well. They were giving Cresswell a torrid time. It's hard pressed to sit here and say Cresswell played well. Snodgrass, just slow. We were just so slow. He had that chance, as I say, but the lack of technique, the lack of passing, the 1-2s. There was a point during that first half where Pellegrini was shouting at the players. As animated as I've seen Pellegrini, he was shouting, talk, talk. Well, at least I think that's what he was shouting, seemed to be. Obiang, I'm surprised to see him feature, but then again, I was surprised to see Perez feature. Declan Rice, I've discussed. Lanzini, first half, pretty poor, bad actually. And when you look at his creative spark, people like Bernard, as we like to call him, were just far sharper than him. But he looked better in the second half, Lanzini. Couple of runs, which you're really clutching at straws, and I am, looking for things to be positive about. And maybe he had a couple of runs where he dribbled past some people, but I did think Everton had done us a favour a little bit. Really, they're taking their foot off the pedal. Who else have we got? Perez again. What can you say? Why is no one's going to pay $4 million for Perez? He's laughing. The geezer's on 70, 80 grand a week, something like that. Why would he leave? No one else is going to pay him that. I think we're stuck with him. Some of the contracts we give out are absolute lunacy. Which brings you to Arnautovic, who's playing next to him, to give that guy a pay rise and another year on his contract. We might be stuck with a geezer until he's 34, 35. He doesn't look like a spring chicken at the moment. He's breaking down all the time. He's ineffective. Bad move. Some of the decision making on these contracts is terrible. But as they say, act in haste, repent at leisure. What can you do? I don't know. I'm sorry. It's been a little bit negative. I don't really know what else to say. I'm here talking to you fine people here. I can't get anybody else's opinions, so that's going to be it, I'm afraid. What I might do is I'll jump on the second channel in a minute, and I'll just start up a quick live stream. That's the Hammers Chat Forum channel. The link is in the description under this. I'll jump on. I'll do a live stream there, and then what we'll do is just do a quick live chat, and we'll get a few of your opinions and find out what a few of you are saying. Because I can only give my opinion now, and I've given it. I thought it was very poor, tactically bad, slow in the areas you need to be fast, dull in the way we thought about things. We were uncreative in the areas where we needed to be creative. We weren't sharp. We very much looked like a team that in the last game got 42 points and became pretty much mathematically safe, which we did. And now that's it. It certainly doesn't bode well for us picking up a load more points between now and the end of the season. Certainly not. I feel sorry for the people that have gone there today. That was, I think that was probably a hard watch to watch yourself get dominated by a team who I think before the start of the day, maybe they probably did have one less point than us, quite possibly. I don't know, but I tell you what, that was a shot in the arm that Silva needed, the Everton manager. That's for sure. Back to the drawing board for Pellegrini. I think a lot of these players won't be featuring next season. I'm quite sure of that. And a lot of them were pretty poor. Antonio tried hard when he came on. I should say that, injected a little bit of pace into it. Hernandez didn't. Nothing really happened. Maybe it justified Pellegrini not starting with him. I don't know, but Pellegrini's got to take some of that. Wrong formation, wrong tactics, as we saw, because he changed it at half time, and just surely two quick wingers. You're going to play 4-4-2, two quick wingers. You're going to play two strikers, one to come deep, one to spin in behind. Simple stuff. One stopper in central midfield if you're playing two in central midfield. One stopper, one creator. Just the fundamental basics of playing a 4-4-2. He's picked a 4-4-2. I don't know. Really weird. Really weird. Play really without width, because Everton didn't allow West Ham to obviously we did really. Snodgrass not really a winger, wasn't going wide and troubling. He was cutting his side. Lanzini was cutting his side. Not having much joy. You're relying on your fullbacks overlapping your wide midfielders, aren't you? Well, of course, Everton's formation didn't allow us to do that. They were too quick, too sharp, and he was outdone. He was outdone tactically today, Pellegrini. So I suppose that's probably the harshest stuff I've said about him, but he's had a bit of an easy ride, I think, this season. That was bad, and he's going to learn from that. And I think the players a lot of them are going to pay the price. Thank you for sticking with me. I know it's a bit of a negative review. What can I do? I'm going to go onto the Hammers Chat Forum channel now. Give me 10 minutes just to set up the stream. Come on there, have a moan. We'll do a live feed, and I'll take questions off you. And subscribe if you're new around here. As Gio likes to say, we'll have more videos coming up in a week. Poor Gio's travelled down to Scotland to see that today. And, well, I've got to feel sorry for anyone that's had to sit and watch that today. But the boats are open until late. And I think they'll be partying until late into the night. And there'll be a few sore heads on Mother's Day tomorrow, in which case, happy Mother's Day to everybody that's celebrating it. And we'll catch up in a week. I think there's going to be a lot of dissecting to do, that's for sure.